I need to reiterate that statement there. CBRM continues to be taxed with collecting taxes on behalf of the provincial government for services the provincial government are responsible for.
Mayor Amanda McDougall-Merrill is quoted in the media as calling Bill 340 a tax hike for us in the CBRM. And if you don't know what the heck that is, just know that Bill 340 is the one that's causing a big blow up between the CBRM and Premier Houston. Hi, I'm Joe Ward of Boxer Shorts Media, and I'm not going to spend too much time groaning about this one today. I just want to make a minor point of clarification and point out what should be obvious. Firstly, to completely oversimplify Bill 340, what you can imagine it means for the CBRM is basically this: charging us a little less for the services we pay the province for, like corrections and public housing losses, and sending us a little less of equalization money that we now receive to stay afloat. At the beginning, the first effects of Bill 340, if activated, presuming we keep our tax rates the same as they are now, we'd have a very small amount of additional cash coming back to us as a net. What McDougall means, at least as far as I can discern from referencing a tax hike, is that A, the equalization transfer will be frozen at an unacceptable level for about 5 years and then is set to drop. And B, the provincial service fees may drop for now, but if you hadn't heard the term inflation recently, you must be living under a rock. That is, we certainly expect those provincial fees to keep rising like everything else. At the point when those fees rise and the equalization stays the same in the absence of any other growth in CBRM revenue, we might have to increase tax rates in order to pay the bills and keep the lights on in the CBRM. While that's generally not wrong, it's also a political move to get the public on board with the CBRM and then sick them on Houston a bit more wherever possible. They want to motivate Houston to do what they want by provoking public disapproval toward them. That's how politics usually plays out when a mutually beneficial deal isn't reached. Notice how I said in the absence of any other growth in CBRM revenue? Well, there's always growth in CBRM revenue, even when we're stagnating. Maybe not enough growth, but some growth. And that's because the Property Valuation Services Corporation applies CPI or inflation to our property values. That happens even if the tax cap has a minimum increase of CPI for the year. And when you get your next tax bill, you're going to see that it went up. If our houses are more valuable, they can take more tax from us. It's as simple as that. And of course, any new residences or businesses that are built will also expand the tax base from which the CBRM derives its revenue. If that growth in property tax revenue outpaces what we're paying the province, as well as the increasing costs of running our own operating and capital expenses for the CBRM, then in theory, there's no certainty of any necessary tax rate increases. Yes, this stuff can be nuanced, but when the numbers are so tight right now and an equalization grant is inexplicably frozen for 5 years and then set to drop for this province's second largest municipality in the CBRM, the nuance comes into play, and the mayor can get away with using suggestions of an impending tax hike as a political play. Here's a kind of sort of obvious question. Is the mayor telling us that over the course of the next 5 years that she, presuming she's still our mayor, and the CBRM would not be able to do anything to boost our revenue? They probably don't want to mention it now, but Mayor McDougall was one of the leading advocates for phasing out the property tax cap while she was the acting president of the same Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities organization that is now endorsing Bill 340 deal, and the one she doesn't like. Our mayor, the CBRM council, and administration certainly seem to play rope-a-dope while letting the province come up with the deal, only to start squawking at the last minute. But that's not to say they don't have a valid concern, even if they're ignoring the fact that our revenue is not supposed to stay almost flatlined forever. And whether trying to embarrass Houston at this stage of the game with stuff that looks like it came right out of the provincial Liberals campaign headquarters or not, in fairness, Houston set himself up for this move to be somewhat effective here in the CBRM, given that he gave us $15 million more, like nothing, when he was trying to become the leader, but despite suggesting it was necessary, pulled it back from us the very next year, replacing it with a deal that definitely doesn't leave us with much, if any, wiggle room at all. Whatever $15 million problem he was sure we had then must have disappeared. If only the CBRM had been drafting their own deal, despite what the province told them, and maybe had spent as much time exuding gratitude about how vital the Houston $15 million was to us while we still had it, where would we be now? A little sugar goes a long way in a political world where people in power love to see their name up in lights in a positive way. Oh yeah, they'll sign huge checks of taxpayer money with a little flattery here and there because it's not coming out of their bank accounts. For all videos, subscribe to Boxer Shorts Media on your choice of YouTube or Facebook.
Please hang up and try again.